Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Fantasy Football Expo podcast series. It is getting so close, folks. It is so close. We are probably by the time this comes out, we'll be less than 2 weeks away because we are now recording this on the 25th. But by the time it gets out, it'll probably be later this week. And by this Friday, we're 2 weeks away, guys. And so I'm very excited about this new group here, new duo, the dynamic duo of Coffee Shop Sports. Kevin Fox, Zach Miller. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. What's been happening? How's everything going, man?
What's up, Bob? We actually can't thank you enough for having us here. Can't thank you enough for having the Expo. Such a fantastic idea. Just a place for all of us fantasy football, diehards, all of us, for lack of a better term, and I wear it proudly, all of us nerds.
Yes.
Give us a place
it's
to
Nerd Fest.
give us a place to have a
Comic-Con sends us notes like you guys need to nerd it down a little bit.
Literally, exactly. Yeah. And I'm proud of that.
Bit.
So thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Zach, how you been? Now, where are you guys both from? I assume, are you from Buffalo or are you just a Bills fan?
I'm from Rochester, New York, baby. 45 minute to an hour drive from Ralph Wilson Stadium, which is what I call it, Ralph Wilson Stadium.
That's fine. It's fair.
Highmark Stadium now or whatever, but
whatever it is.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Zach, 45 minutes.
So. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado, born and raised.
So you're still there?
I'm not. No, we're both actually in Los Angeles at the moment.
Okay. I was just to say, because my wife has relatives. I go out to Colorado Springs all the time.
No, I do go out there a lot. I'll actually be there.
Right. Next time I go out, I'll check in with you, see if we can have a beer.
Of course, yeah. I'll be there actually the week after the Expo. I'll be flying back out for a concert. Gotcha. So I am out there all the time.
But you're both in LA now, you said.
That's right.
Yeah, about
so you guys
10
are
minutes
actors?
away from each other.
Are you guys in the movies?
I am. Yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. Entertainment in general.
Gotcha. Cool.
Right.
The umbrella term. In the film community as much as Kevin is. I'm out here for the sport aspect of it. But my girlfriend is in production, so she's in the unions out here. Does set production.
They're out there fighting the union.
Support the strike.
We were picketing 2 weeks ago, so it's no joke out here. It's real serious.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You're never more than one person removed from an actor when you're in LA, really. So
probably so.
Right here.
Did you guys go to the Scott Fishbowl out there?
No, I did not. I wanted to sign up for the live fishbowl. Unfortunately, it was filled up by the time I got there. And then good news anyway, I wasn't going to be able to make the draft. So didn't get to make it over there at the time. But I will be attending next year for sure. Fishbowl. Yeah,
I know. Some of us are starting to think about like flying to different ones. So I don't know if you saw on Twitter, I was actually drafted live in London when they did
no, I didn't see that.
That's so cool.
It's a great
because they started their own European Fantasy Football Expo last year, and I talked my wife into going with me so I could take her to France because that's all I have to do to get her to go overseas. And so I said, if I get to go to London, I'll take you over to France, and it worked out. So I got to go to their convention, their little expo, and do the live Scott Fishbowl draft. So it was a blast. I got to meet all the guys like Murph and Stocks and Everett, Colum, Kelly, and all the guys over there. So it was a great time. So, but I said, well, now maybe I should go to LA next year because I want to hang out with Matt Walsh and Thomas Everett Scott and all those guys, right?
Coffee Shop Sports.
Yeah, come on out.
Coffee Shop Sports, right? Yeah, I should hang out with you guys.
LA
Bob, how'd you like
attracts
France?
a crowd.
So this time we went to Paris 5 years ago. Loved it. We went to Marseille this time, really hot. Last time we went in September, not July, and I think that made a difference. But Marseille's right on the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful view, but it's just a different city. It's not as, I call it American as Paris is,
touristy.
My wife can talk, can speak a little French enough to get us through. Down there, she struggled, and there wasn't as much written. There's just a lot of talking, and that's rough.
I actually just got back from France, and I had a fantastic time. I was there for 3 weeks. Life-changing trip, man. My girlfriend is a French native, French citizen. Perfect. So yeah, very, very fun. And she did all the translating for me. I could just say,
you got that. That's great, right?
It was nice.
I go to Italy, I'm taking my Italian buddy with me.
That's right, exactly.
He does all the talking. So anyway,
right.
But anyway, so like I said, looking forward to it and that. So, all right. So before we get into talking about Coffee Shop Sports and your guys' new thing here, let's go back. Now, I'm good. I was going to say a long time, but you guys both look like you're 21 years old. So going back 10 years, you'll be 11 if when you first played fantasy football. So talk about what year, how old were you when you started playing, when somebody introduced you to this wonderful passion we call fantasy football?
Bob Lung, a man after my heart, saying I look 21. Appreciate that. Pushing 30, but
Okay,
like I said, appreciate that.
Anything under 30 is 21 in my mind.
Right, basically, right?
Just a kid.
For me, it was I was 9 years old, and it was my first year being really invested in watching football. So 04, my pops, he was always a huge Bills fan, so he got me super invested in the Bills.
Right.
Then there was sort of this lane where I was like, all my uncles and my stepdad and everybody were arguing about, oh, you got to draft this player, you got to do that. And I was always very kind of like statistically inclined. I always really liked statistics and all that. And I remember it was actually Dante Culpepper. I remember he was the player that we were rooting for to have a big game for, like my stepdad's team to like beat somebody else's team. And I was like, can you deal me in on this? Can I play? Like, and
That's
I
a young age,
9 years old, started co-managing, got my own team at 11. Never looked back, Bob. Here we are.
You've been playing 10. Wow. Okay. You've been playing even more than 10.
A couple decades later.
Yeah, a couple decades and you're less than 30. That's
I've been a junkie ever since, man. I got really into the Fantasy Footballers podcast maybe 6 or 7 years back. That's really it's sort of like the gateway drug of podcast listening. And then I started just sort of becoming obsessed. And now Zach and I are here where we are.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm a similar kind of story, a little younger than Kev, a couple years, not too much. I'm coming to 25 here. But I didn't start playing fantasy football until my freshman year of high school.
Oh, okay.
I had a bunch of friends this is 2012, a bunch of friends who were in a league. They had somebody drop out. They asked me to come in. I won my first year and I was hooked. There's nothing better than that. Yeah.
Yeah. I always love it when you're like, I had no idea what I was doing and I won. So I'm hooked.
Classic fantasy football.
Is the largest ego boost you can have. And then of course I was hooked after that. And actually I'm still in that league with a lot of those guys. Some of the people have gone in and out, but we do a live draft every year now. I run that league, commissioner there. I just fell in love with it year after year. And it just my love for it grew ever since then. I started watching the NFL more and more from that. Fantasy football was like the slippery slope into my football love I just got more and more invested year after year. And that led all the way through college. And then post college, decided to take a career in sports and fantasy sports. So that took me to where I am now, where met through Kevin. I work with Matt Harmon and James Coe over at Reception Perception as well. Nice. And that's also just helped fuel the fire of my love for football and fantasy football, working with those two guys, greats on their own. And then Kevin and I met through a mutual friend and talked our ears off together for fantasy football for about 2 hours of a game night party, and realized
we were at a dinner party and we kind of just ISO'd. We were like, y'all can play your Uno. We're going to be over here arguing about Gabe Davis.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Zach, I'm assuming Matt Harmon is coming to the Expo, right?
Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, he did let me know that on forward that he'll be coming out there. I'm excited because I used to see him when he was in LA, but then when he moved out to Virginia, haven't seen him since then for like 2 months. But no, definitely will be fun to reconnect with him over the Expo.
Cool.
Excited to
see.
And
then I met James Coe at FSGA this last time too. Nice guy as well.
No, they're both fantastic. And working with them has been so great.
Yeah. And that's the great thing. And then one of the things that a lot of people have talked about in these podcast series is the zero ego that these guys have, regardless of how well they're known in the industry, whether it's Matt Harmon or, Howard Bender, or Bob Harris, and, Michael Fabiano, Mike Clay, all those guys, they talk like this like we're talking, and, I say they're the RB1s, we're the RB2s, and, and yet you never know, if you don't know the person, you never know that they were, a big deal in the industry, like as we know them. But yeah, it's very cool and that's where it always, I think, a lot of people when they come in for the first time, especially now you've met some of them already, so but a lot of people have never come in and they just see these figureheads on Twitter, and then they meet them like, this guy's so nice and he's so friendly and he's really helping me out and kind of, commented that I was doing a great job. And yeah.
Really nice
I've
yet to meet anybody that I have anything to say, a single negative thing about at all. I mean, through all the interactions with anybody from football guys all the way through like NFL stuff, they're all great no matter what level you meet them at.
Very down to earth community. We're very, very lucky and blessed and excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I think that's why this works so well, because a lot of this is about the community, and like I said before, I was telling you off air, it was about this community and bringing them together, bringing in new folks like you to the industry, even though you're kind of already in basically a little more than I thought you guys were. So hats off to you. But, it doesn't matter, when that's what we tell people, look, if you're a fan, don't be intimidated by who you're going to be around. You're not going to notice it as much as you think you will. You're going to have great conversations just like you would with your friends who play in your league. And, they're just a little smarter than us. And that's okay, because we can learn from them and be smarter too. And then we're smarter than our friends.
Then you play in a league with them and you get quickly humbled compared to your home leagues. And you realize it's a whole different ball game out there.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. All right. So you guys started playing. You've obviously been friends for a long time now. So talk about this new scenario here you got going on. Let's talk about coffee shop sports. You guys have a booth at the Expo, which we're excited about you guys coming in for. Talk about how you got to this point. Why the name? Everybody's always about beer and all that stuff. So why coffee?
Thank you so much for bringing that up, Bob. So like we mentioned, met through a mutual friend at a dinner party, really instantly hit it off over our shared passion and love for fantasy football. We started meeting for coffee weekly and talking for hours at a time. And eventually we were like, what we are doing is a podcast. What is stopping us from putting microphones on our faces and doing this exact same thing and releasing it to the general public? And eventually it got to that point. Me personally, Bob, and I'm glad you brought it up, I am sober past 2 years now, which is awesome.
Congratulations.
Great. Thank you very much. Awesome for my personal life. And so I kind of thought of, we kind of thought of coffee shop sports, first of all, as just, because it's literally what it is. It's coffee shop conversations. We're chopping it up. We're sipping our cold brews, but also the branding. Yeah, you're right. It's nice to sort of bring that sort of more, I guess, wholesome angle to it, coffee shop sports, different sort of angle.
When we did it as well, we'd been meeting in coffee shops because we'd both previously been baristas for a long time.
There we go.
So
now it's all coming together.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've got 5+ years under my belt. Kev has a similar number as well, I believe. Yep. So we have a shared love of coffee. Part of what we do on our show is coffee reviews as well, separate from the sports angle, mainly because it gives us a really great excuse to try the hundreds of little coffee shops in Los Angeles.
Hell yeah.
So just worked, man. We were talking we'd meet up and be like, do you want to meet like 11 to 12 type thing? And we'd be there till 3 p.m. just talking each other's ear off about fantasy football until we were like, all right, I literally have to go home. I have so much stuff to do.
I have a wife and a family.
So we just thought it'd be a great idea to kind of take the same ambiance and like feel that we have in a coffee shop talking together and bringing that to a show. And it's been good. And we've got some exciting stuff coming on the way. We're building every single day right now. We're planning on moving in person where instead of talking heads, since we luckily also only live within 10 minutes of each other, which just certainly worked out. We get to build a little studio space to kind of have to keep that feel on the show as well. So we're really excited.
So you don't go to the actual coffee shops and record it there.
For the reviews we do, not for the episodes. It would audio, Bob.
Yeah, the audio was a killer.
Yeah, the audio is very, very different.
That's why I was like, you didn't do these all at coffee shops, did you? I can't imagine they could hear anything.
No, we do some small clips and reviews at coffee shops. And we're debating doing some other coffee shops like sports trivia in the settings, but it becomes an audio nightmare.
Right.
I can imagine.
Definitely.
Cool. So let's just, for the people out there, I think we got the vibe of what the show is about, but let's talk about the knowledge level. What are you guys bringing? It's, everybody's got to be different because you can't all be the same podcast, right? So,
right.
What is your edge? Why are people listening other than for coffee? In their coffee reviews, what are they getting out of the coffee shop sports podcast that they may not get from somebody else's?
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up, Bob, because I think what separates Zach and I is we're both kind of like psychotic with our obsession with this stuff. So there's really no stone unturned when it comes to our research, when it comes to our, for me, this is going to sound a little crazy, but I personally believe wholeheartedly in the human side of everything. I invest a lot in personal storylines and in I think it's a very common joke in the industry, but the eye test is something that I'm a big believer in. I think that's something that anybody who considers himself an analyst kind of has to trust their gut a little bit. So that's kind of super ironed out for me, and I know for Zach it's a little different. So Zach, what about for you? What is it from the knowledge side?
Yeah, we work well together because we bring kind of two sides of a story where I've invest heavily in analytics, my metrics part of it. I work with Matt on reception perception, doing a lot of his data analytics. So bringing a lot of that stuff into my work, as well as researching through like fantasy points, kind of breaking things down from a data level to bring a little bit of a mathematical side to what we're seeing on the field. And that tends to spark a lot of debates between me and Kevin, where we spend a lot of time seeing both sides of the field, where a lot of times we're not in full agreement, which we think is probably the most valuable part of our show. Is you get to kind of make the decision for yourself between the two of us. We each bring some really solid points to the tables. We'll have a lot of really good discussions on things. But we bring a really big range of opinions and knowledge to the show that you can kind of take what you want from those conversations, side with who you want in those conversations, as well as just having a really big breadth of knowledge throughout the episode. And we also cover such a large range where we did some NBA finals coverage during the season as well. We're both big basketball fans through there, so we take a look under those lenses. And we do some entertainment stuff as well. We just recently finished an episode. Of course. It's right in our blood.
Yeah.
We do some entertainment stuff as well, where we just finished off a sports video game draft, picking head to head against each other. We'll be incorporating some NFL trivia games, those new crossover grids, which are just incredibly popular.
So fun. So addicting.
We do them every single day.
Do 3 a day. I'm fiending.
So the goal for us is...
You haven't seen them, Bob.
We got to get you into it, Bob.
I almost wonder.
Addicting.
Yeah, I almost wonder if we should.
Maybe don't
spring one on it. Yeah,
basically, it's a little 9-square grid. See if I can get this up on the screen.
So like a Sudoku?
Kind of. It's like a match to where there's like 3 NFL teams on the left and 3 NFL teams on the right, and you have to find a player that's played for both of those teams at some point in time. Or sometimes it'll say this player's played for the Falcons and has thrown for 5 touchdowns in a single game, and you can do that. And you have to
try to cross-reference the top and pick the player who checks both boxes, and it gets real crazy.
You had me at just football.
Oh yeah, 100%. No,
the rest of it was like, that's all. Yeah,
I'm honored to be the one to turn a football junkie on to the crossover grids. I apologize to your wife and family for the hour of time you're going to lose a day playing those games.
Yeah, they refresh every day too. So every morning there's a new grid.
So it's a website.
It's like Wordle type. Yeah, it's like a website.
Oh, is it an app or is it on?
So it's a website.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple different ones. There's dynastydaddy.com has a crossover grid, and then NBAcrossover.com as well, which has one for NBA and NFL.
Immaculate Gridiron.
There's a bunch now. They're popping up all over the place.
Nice.
But
very fun.
We love to do stuff like that. Our goal is kind of just to bring a breadth of like a mix of casual conversation and entertainment, as well as a really big depth of knowledge on the position and like a fantasy level. So a little mix of like entertainment and actionable data really you get from both of us. mainly from a personality standpoint and kind of just the way we mesh together in general.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
No, that sounds fun. Yeah. And I
It's a blast.
assume everywhere you can find a podcast, you guys are there, right?
Big time.
Of course. Yep.
Apple,
Anywhere you can,
Google,
whatever,
wherever.
Apple, Spotify, Google, if you're using any, there's like 8 lists of them that we send them out to.
Right.
You can always find us under Coffee Shop Sports, any social media platform. We post videos as well.
Gotcha.
We don't have a website or anything at this point,
Right,
mainly
right.
just at the entertainment level, but yeah, you can find us pretty much anywhere that
Awesome.
you can find fantasy football stuff.
Definitely.
Perfect. Well, as we talked about, you guys are coming to the 2023 Expo. We're very excited about that. Always love to bring in some new blood just because it's great. I mean, I one of the podcasts I've done, one of these series that I've done, I said it's one of my favorite things when I meet new people. And a lot of it comes at FSGA because they're there usually promoting their game or app because they're looking for investors. And they're the first people I walk up to and just say, hey, look, if your game or your app or whatever you've got is going to be ready for this season, you need to come to the Expo because you can promote it, meet all these people. They'll help you promote it. It's a great way. And you guys obviously are going to be doing that. So where did it finally go? Oh, the Expo, we should come to that. Was it Twitter? Was it somebody introduced you to it? How did you guys find out about the Expo and what made that decision to come in 2023?
I had found out about the Expo over Twitter. Last year's Expo, I really wanted to go to, couldn't end up making
FOMO.
it. So as soon as I saw how much I was missing, between just all the people I knew that were going to be there, I basically said, I don't care what happens next year. I'm going to be at this Expo. And I made that decision to go there. And told Kevin as well. I was like, if you want to come with me, we should go do this. And we started just kind of talking between each other. And we're like, you know what, let's go ahead and just buy a booth while we're out there as well. Yeah. But it was just something I couldn't see myself missing this year between, I mean, the draft night outs, the Expo itself, the cornhole tournament, and of course, the flag football tournament was of large interest to myself. I'm very excited.
So you guys got your team together yet?
Finally found one.
Okay.
We are going to be with Fourth and Flex.
Oh, I think they just signed up today.
Yeah,
is that Jason Cooper now, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, yes, I believe that is them. Yep. Yeah. So we're signing up with them. Found them in the FF Expo Discord, which if you're listening and haven't joined that, get in there. They've already been telling me knowledge I didn't know before about where certain stuff is going to be. So
right. Which kind of leads. That was a perfect segue. So I had said before we're going to do this. So as a first timer, what questions do you have for me that can also help others that have been watching these shows as you prepare to come to Canton, Ohio here in little less than 2 weeks?
That's a great question.
Is the we're going to the Hall of Fame game?
So this is the week after the Hall of Fame.
Oh, so
after
close.
The Hall of Fame game.
So close.
I was gonna say. However, we will be down on the field during our Saturday night party that the Hall of Fame game is played on.
Sweet.
Very excited for that.
Hopefully we can maybe throw a few footballs around out on the field if they let us.
That'd be sweet.
Now the actual last year we actually did play the flag football on that field because the dome wasn't ready.
That is so cool.
But the reason we're doing the dome is I never can predict. Ohio's terrible for weather. You don't know what you get in August.
Big time.
It can be thunderstorms. It can be 95 with 90% humidity, or it can be like the last 2 years, perfect 72 degrees and no humidity, which I figured I can't pull off for a third year in a row.
I feel you.
I only have so much contacts. So I said, we're going to go to the dome. I get it. It might be perfect, but you know what? It is what it is, but it's still cool. The dome, you're gonna love the dome anyway. So we will be on the field, and you get to tour the Hall of Fame. You get a ticket to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Sweet.
So if you've never been there, definitely come. You can do. Usually that's the best time to do is like Saturdays, either morning before draft night out, or maybe you just take a break and from the Expo, walk over there on Sunday. Well, you guys have a booth. That might be tough, but come in early.
We'll switch out on the booth.
When are you guys coming in? Friday or Thursday?
I'll be coming in
Friday
morning.
Really early morning. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be making it in.
Are you guys doing a red eye?
Yeah,
LA?
I'm hitting LA to New York so I can see my family for a little bit, and then I'm gonna drive to Canton.
Then you're driving. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
And
I've spent some time in Ohio actually. I love Cleveland. I love Cleveland.
Yeah.
I will be. I believe I'm flying late in the night over to early Friday morning from LA. So, and then we have a place Friday night through. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Got somewhere close to the expo. So,
Bob, I have a question for you.
Got it.
What is your favorite part of the expo?
Ooh.
I appreciate the
it's like
thought
asking a parent what their favorite kid is.
You know,
I
because
appreciate what
you
the
know
thought
how
is
it's one of
putting
those
into
things when you have to choose between your favorite 3 kids.
literally difficult.
It really is.
But it's Billy.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I have to personally say it was a cornhole tournament last year because I won.
Oh, see, that's a chip
fair.
on the
But
shoulder.
see, I
right there.
retired.
Sounds like a
'cause
winning
I took a
mindset.
lot of slack for winning my tournament.
No,
which I
as
did not expect
you
to do.
shouldn't
I thought
deserve
there'd be-
any flack for
Don't
winning your
retire.
tournament.
Yeah, so I retired. I said, okay, I'll retire on top. I'll be like Peyton Manning, just walk away. I got my chain. I got my trophy smack chain. I'll certainly be bringing it and wearing it as a tournament champ. But
Have to.
I mean, if I had to pick though, it is the expo itself, because to have all of that knowledge and all of those people all together in one room, sharing information, learning from others, that's what I try to tell people is like, look, I know things about what I know, but I'm not really strong in Dynasty. I'm not strong in DFS. There's so much to learn. And so that's what's awesome about it is there's all of this massive talent that we're bringing together for people to come and listen and be better in their leagues. And then, and then on top of it, it's just a fun time. If we just did the expo, I think it would be okay, but it wouldn't be as much fun. It would be just it'd be more of a job conference, right? You're coming in, you do it, and you kind of don't have that. You really don't have the camaraderie in that event because you're going many different directions. So that's why I kind of like the leading of the just casual parties, fun, playing games, football, and then we do it all at the end, and then we're done.
Makes for a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, it should.
I would imagine also it's probably quite an icebreaker. I would imagine everybody's probably just so comfortable by the time the expo rolls around.
Oh yeah, by Sunday, they're all grossly hungover. That happens too.
Tired, hungover, dead, yeah.
And tired, yeah. I was really tired.
Not us. Not from our coffees.
Yeah. I might have to get you guys up for coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I may need to.
We'll hook you up.
I might have to for Sunday, Bob.
We'll hook you up.
Yeah, you might have to pull some hardcore Cuban coffee or whatever.
We gotcha.
Just throw a few shots down just so I can power through.
We are planning on doing a little
maintaining.
We're planning on doing a little coffee trivia giveaway at the expo itself. So just swing by the booth. We'll get you.
Yeah. So I was going to thank you. Did you write my segues? That was one thing I was going to ask was, so what are you guys bringing to the booth that is, and you are in booth. Should have this. 30.
This is great because I don't think either of us know which one you're in.
Yeah,
either.
booth
30 sounds great. It's a good number.
So booth 30, come visit you guys. What are they going to be able to do? See, get freebies, giveaways, whatever.
Yeah, we're really excited. We're going to bring our gear that we use for our coffee reviews so we can do some on-site content with whoever wants to come in, do it. We're going to have some trivia prepared, some deep knowledge trivia too, not just what teams did Tyreek Hill play for. We're going to have some harder questions ready to go. And then we're going to be giving away cans of coffee at the event as well, as well as may have some stickers, some paraphernalia. We haven't hammered out all the details yet for the event, but that is going to be the big one. We're going to have some interviews out for people to do trivia. We're going to have that to post up on our page, send people for their own pages, stuff like that. If you want to have some in expo type content. So we're really thrilled to do that, mainly because we love giving people coffee and we love doing NFL trivia. So it just kind of is a little selfish of us because we just get to continue doing what we love.
It's perfect. I mean, I think we should see if they can get a perfect 9 out of 9 on a grid.
There you go. I was just going to say, I was waiting for the grids.
We got to bring the grid in.
You got to bring the grids.
But Bob, what we're really looking forward to doing, and I think you've already sort of touched on this, is just building our, we have this beautiful community of people. We're looking forward to building ours. We're looking forward to establishing ourselves with the people and with the community, because we all can agree and we all know that it's just a bunch of really special, down to earth, awesome people who we're all really excited to get to know and sort of find our, our niche in the space, find our friends and our collaborators. So we're elated for that.
Oh,
I have a cat. I did. It did just. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
even know he was in the room.
We used to have a cat.
Studio.
They do the same thing. Like, that ignores me all day. Doing a podcast? Yeah, right here.
Yep,
Right
he's a good
there.
boy. He wants to contribute. You want to say something, Kimchi?
Chat in. We're thrilled. We're still hammering out some of the details of the booth itself, but definitely expect some freebies, some trivia, maybe a giveaway or two. See if I can hammer out some sort of reception subscription giveaway as well from Matt. So yeah, we're really thrilled to just meet people, get people excited about what we're doing, because they already are, because it's all fantasy football anyway. And just kind of
appreciate it. Yeah,
kind of hang out.
Well,
and
guys,
we're happy to support.
Yeah, no, thank you. So let's wrap up the show. Just each one of you just talk about, your Twitter handles, the podcast, where to find everything, and then we'll kind of just take it out from there.
Sweet. So I will kick it off. I want to give a special thank you to Todd. A lot of what we do is possible because of support from our boss, Todd. I want to also plug the Buffalo Trill on Twitter. Also Coffee Shop FB on Twitter. That's where you're going to find a lot of our content. And I do some freelance work with Legit Football. They have a daily newsletter. I believe they had a booth last year.
I know those guys very well. Yeah,
they closely with them. They're very, very awesome and special people. So I want to shout them out and show love to Legit Football as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can find all of my work with Kevin at Coffee Shop Sports or Coffee Shop Football on Twitter. And then my Twitter handle is at ZACHIC_FF. As well as you can find some of my written work and other stuff on the Reception Perception website. And I am on the podcast with Matt and James once a month for some Dynasty info as well. Wow. So you can find me there too, if you really want to hear that much more.
Yeah. Well, once again, Kevin Fox, Zach Miller from Coffee Shop Sports. Please make sure and stop by at booth number 30 to see them during the expo, and make sure you shout out to them. Just, buy them a beer. Buy them. No, go buy them. Buy them coffee. Right.
Buy me a coffee. If you need one, come to booth 30 and we'll cure your hangover.
Captain Morgan Diet Coke coffee. Anyway, thank you guys for being a big part of this show.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you for being a big part of this expo. We look forward to see you here just in a couple of weeks in Canton, Ohio for the fantasyfootballexpo.com. If you haven't got your tickets, you better get them quick, folks. Time is running out. We will see you in Canton, Ohio, August 11th through the 13th. Everybody take care. God bless. We'll see you soon. Hey, everybody. Do you want to continue to learn more about the Fantasy Football Expo? Well, then subscribe to our channel so you don't miss an episode. Expo registration is now open, so make sure you visit thefantasyfootballexpo.com to get your tickets now. And come and experience fantasy football's greatest weekend in Canton, Ohio this August 11th through the 13th.